Okay, so I'm about to cook and do my cooking video for the healthy foods. Hang on. For the healthy foods list, I like to find different recipes on Pinterest and then kind of you know, mimic the recipes, especially the ones that have like healthy foods included in them. So I do now. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I do cook chicken and rice like at least once a week in some shape or form, whether it's baked chicken and then rice, or whether it's a chicken and rice casserole, or chicken and rice on stove top, like different ways, yellow rice, whatever. Because I have some picky eaters, and I know that one thing they will eat is chicken and rice. So I always try to at least fix it at least once a week, maybe twice, just because I know that they're gonna eat. Otherwise, they're gonna eat like pancakes or French toast sticks or not like something home cooked. So anyway, my husband had the nerve to come home the other day, yesterday, and I did cook chicken and rice. But this was like a whole different. This is like the best version of the chicken and rice. Okay, so he was like, "What you cook?" And I was like, chicken and rice. And he was like, God dang, you cook chicken and rice every week. We gonna turn into chicken and rice. Nigga, first of all, you don't cook. So you get whatever this kitchen give you, okay? So anyway, I'm about to go upstairs and get started cooking. And he just came home. I was trying to surprise him with something different, but he came home early. But he still don't know what I'm cooking. I just got all the stuff out. So I'm gonna take out the chicken and I'm gonna take out the rice. And I want you to see his reaction when I tell him we gonna do chicken and rice again for like the third day in a row. So hold on. Not really.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to get started cooking.
Yeah, I'm finna go get the boy. Came home, changed clothes.
Well, I don't know what you got to say. We gonna do chicken and rice again.
Are you kidding?
No.
Why you keep making chicken and rice?
Cause that's what the boys eat. Why do you always have something to say about chicken and rice?
Cause you make it every other day.
You know what?
I'm good. I can always find something else. As long as they eat.
So you ain't gonna eat what I cook?
I'm not gonna eat chicken and rice every day.
Whatever. I ain't cooking chicken and rice. I was just... Okay, so since we're not doing chicken and rice today, I'm gonna do the shrimp and grits casserole. I looked this up one day because what was I think I was looking for, like, every time for Thanksgiving we always try to do like one dish that's kind of different. So I had found this recipe on Pinterest and I'll post a link to it, but it's a shrimp and grits casserole, so it is so good. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And this recipe is from A Chef's Kitchen. That's the name of the blog, A Chef's Kitchen. So I'm just looking at the recipe on my other phone. Well, actually, it's my son's phone. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll turn the camera around so you all can see the ingredients. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is cut the oven on. It says 375, but I'm doing 350 just because we do have a convection oven, and anytime I use the regular temperature, I burn something up. So I try to cut it down just a little bit. So I'm just gonna do 350, and then you get a dish. I'm gonna use, this is a 9x8 dish. Anyway, this is like my favorite dish now. It's like holds so much. But anyway, I'm gonna be using this, so I'm just gonna put this to the side for right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is chop up my onion. I'm gonna need some grits. And I'll tell y'all, number one, when I do recipes, I don't, I follow the instructions, but I don't like follow the instructions like all the way. Like for instance, if there's an ingredient that I don't have, if I have something similar, I'll just, oh goodness, I dropped the whole can. I dropped the whole jar of jalapenos. Okay, let me find something else to put this in. Look at this. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these in here. It'll be fine. Throw that away. And then let me get this glass up. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have that fiasco out of the way, you're supposed to, okay, the oven is ready. Okay, so you're supposed to start with a bunch of scallions and the white and green ones, but they only want the white and the light green part only. So there's really like the end. So I do not have any scallions, but I do have onion. So I'm going to use onion instead, and I have it in my chopper here. All right. So I'm just doing the prep work for now. I can just leave that in there for the moment, okay? Then I'm also going to need half of a red bell pepper. So I normally just buy them in a pack of 3. It normally comes with 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 orange. But they did not include my yellow in there this time. Which I kind of like seeing a mixture of colors, because I'm also going to cook this other dish to have for breakfast in the morning. And I'll just use the other half of the red and some of the orange for that. Okay. All right, so I'm only going to need half for this. And one time I tried to put the I had no idea that you could not put red peppers in the chopper. I tried to put some in the chopper. It was a mess. It basically turned into like a juice. So I have to chop these on my hand. But I like to things that where I can do things more quickly. And sometimes it just depends on the onion. Like with the onions, sometimes I feel like I can chop them faster on my hand. If I just don't feel like pulling out that chopper. And this is the only thing I hate about this recipe. There is so much prep work, but it does taste so good. But like, see my husband, he don't appreciate this. I mean, he does, but listen. Chicken and rice, that's easy. And I know the children are going to eat it. So that is like my go-to. Chicken, we have chicken and rice and spaghetti at least once a week. Simply because I know there's something that they'll eat. And they can take it to school for lunch the next day. Because they don't like to eat the school lunch. One of my kids, he has a lot of food allergies. Now, one in particular is milk. He can't have milk. So I send his lunch to school. But I know that with like spaghetti, chicken and rice, they'll eat that. Because the one that has the allergies, on top of him having the allergies, he has the nerve to be picky. I'm like, dude, you cannot have food allergies and be picky. Like, how does that even happen? You can barely eat certain things. And the things that you can eat, you have the nerve to like be picky about it. So I have to, like, his fruits and vegetables, I have to sneak that in his food. That's why I love cooking spaghetti, because he has no idea what's in there. And he just gobbles it right up. Okay, so that's half of the bell pepper. And then you need it says 1 jalapeno. So I don't have a full jalapeno, but I do have these. So I'll just take some and chop them up. These are the sliced jalapenos, which I buy them like this. So like if we have taco night, or sometimes I like them on my salad, or if I'm fixing myself like a Subway type sandwich at home, I'll throw these on there. I guess that'll be like 1 jalapeno. I'll do 1 more, just because I do like a little heat. All right, and then the next recipe is garlic, which I have garlic that's already chopped up. That's no problem. My can of diced tomatoes. I normally buy these. I get them in the Mexican aisle. Diced chilies with green tomatoes. Chicken broth. We need chicken broth. Got my chicken broth right here, 2 cups. Got my grits right here. We only need 1/2 cup. Salt and pepper. And then you have your shrimp. Shrimp, the other thing about this, the shrimp. You have to cook the shrimp separately. Like, oh my goodness. I almost forgot about that. That's why I don't cook this often. But I was in the mood for shrimp and grits today. So, I'm going to drain this shrimp and rinse it. This is the shrimp that I bought it in the pack frozen, and then I just let it unthaw in the refrigerator overnight. So I'm just kind of rinsing it off. I know, like, when I'm cooking a casserole, I can get away with not having a lot of meat because I can just chop it up finely. So I'm just gonna put this shrimp on here. All right, so as far as the ingredients, then you're gonna need bacon, and I ain't cooking no bacon. If you want to cook bacon, you can. I'm gonna use these real bacon pieces. We're gonna need an egg. I got my egg right here, and some Gouda cheese. Now, Gouda cheese. I have fallen in love with Gouda cheese. It is just so delicious to me. I never knew. Okay, so now we'll get started. So I've already preheated my oven. Now I'll take you over here to the stove area so we can get started. Try to get both eyes because I gotta cook the shrimp separately. So you gotta saute your vegetables in one pan, and then you do your shrimp in another pan, and then with the sauteed vegetables, then you kind of build into that, and then you put it all in the dish, and then you bake it. But the shrimp does have to be cooked separately. So I'm gonna get another pan for the shrimp. All right, so you're gonna start by melting your butter in the pan. And once I post the recipe, you can follow the recipe to its exact terms. I'll use the recipe as a guide, but I don't really measure. So, anywho, adding the butter, and that's just going to be used to saute the veggies. And while that butter is heating, because after the butter melts, then I'm going to add the onion, the red bell pepper, and the jalapeno. So I'm going to also go ahead and get started on the shrimp. And I'm just going to saute it. So I'm just going to use just like a little bit of olive oil. All right, so I got my shrimp here, and I'm going to season my shrimp first. And since it is a Cajun shrimp and grits, I am going to season my shrimp with some Creole, the Zatarain's Creole seasoning. Remember, shrimp has protein and iron and B vitamin in it. Shrimp. Okay. So while this is about melted, I'm going to go ahead and put in my onion. All right, yeah, I think I'm ready now. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my onion. And then I'm also going to go ahead and add my pepper and my bell pepper. Remember, bell pepper has vitamin C. All right. So I'm going to cut this up just a little bit. I'm cutting it on medium high. And see, a lot of these ingredients we just keep in the house just because I know I'm going to eventually make something where I'm going to use it. So the only thing that I really didn't have was the scallions. So that's why I said I'll just use onion. Like, I'm not about to like run out to the store real quick just because I don't have that. So I'm going to let that saute and soften and get soft. And while that is going, go ahead and add my shrimp. And then I'm just gonna kind of cut the shrimp in half. Let me get another knife. And that's just so you don't have just like a huge chunk of shrimp. When you bite into it, you got a nice little bite size. Plus, it will seem like it's, you know, way more shrimp in the dish than it is. And the recipe does not say to season the shrimp, but I like to season mine before it's cooked. So that's why I added that seasoning on there. And it doesn't take long for the shrimp to cook. See, it's already turning pink. And then it's also gonna cook. Okay, so I got my veggies cooking and I have my shrimp cooking. So what I did with the shrimp was and the shrimp, it doesn't take long to cook. See, it's already turning pink. So I'm just gonna cut that off. And I just, I added a little bit more of the seasoning to it, the Creole seasoning. And then my veggies are softening up quite nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and get my garlic ready. And again, I never really look at like how much of something that I need to add. Like if I see an ingredient on there, especially like butter or like garlic, I just kind of add it to my taste. So I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic. My husband loves garlic. I mean, I like to cook with it, but I don't love it like that. He uses extra garlic. I don't like extra. Alright, just add a little garlic in there. And then I'm going to open my can of diced tomatoes. And it says for this to be drained. I'm going to take that off the heat. I don't want my shrimp to overcook because remember the shrimp still have to go in the oven. So I don't want to overcook them. So I'm going to drain the chilies. Add those. Alright, and then the next thing that I'll add is my chicken broth. So it calls for 2 cups of chicken broth. This can holds 10 ounces, so I'm going to fill this up. Two cups is 8 ounces. A little bit more. I'm sorry, 1 cup is 8 ounces. So that was 10 ounces. So not all the way full. That's about 6 ounces. 2 cups. Boom, there you have it. I have measuring cups, but I bet that can was right there, so I said, hey, that was closer than the measuring cups. So you got to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to add my grits. And for the grits, it asks for a 1/2 cup. So I will measure for the grits because I do not want extra thick shrimp and grits casserole. Alright, so I'm letting that come to a boil. It's looking like it's trying to do something, but anyway, I got my measuring cup, 1/2 cup. I'm gonna go ahead and pour these grits in the measuring cup. Alright. So while that's coming to a boil, I'm gonna go ahead and start clearing some of this space. And my kids will not eat shrimp and grits casserole, so guess what they're gonna have? Chicken. No rice, but they're gonna have some chicken. I'm gonna saute them some chicken. So anywho, you go ahead, like I see some boiling happening over here. But I'll give you just a few more minutes. So then once I stir my grits in, then after that, I will add my shrimp, my bacon, and my egg. And then I'll get ready to put it in the oven. Okay, so we're pretty much almost done with the stove part anyway. So I will go ahead and get my shrimp is ready. It's right there. Let me taste one just to make sure. Oh, it tastes good. If you have ever went to Publix, the grocery store, and asked them to season your shrimp for you, if you've ever bought fresh shrimp and asked them to season it for you, this is exactly what they taste like. So I'm guessing they use Zatarain's. I'm gonna give me one more piece because it was so good. Okay. All right, so it's starting to boil now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stir in my grits. And it's almost like you cook these like you would, you know, if they didn't have all the rest of this stuff in here. You like let them boil. Well, you're not supposed to get instant grits, but guess what? I always use these grits and they cook just fine. All right, so I'm gonna let that come to a boil for a little bit, and then it needs to cook for like 5 minutes. And then while it's cooking, I have my shrimp ready. I'll get my bacon ready, and then my egg. And then while that is in the oven, then I'll be cooking the boys' chicken. So my husband went to go pick them up. So by the time they get back, I'll be cooking their chicken, and this will be in the oven. And I know he's gonna have a fit when he sees chicken, because he's gonna automatically think I'm cooking chicken and rice. But like I said, when you start cooking, you can fix whatever you want. All right, so that's cooking. Since it's boiling now, I'm just gonna reduce the heat to just like low. It does not say to cover. You just kind of want to cook it until the grits get done. I'm gonna leave it like on, not low, but medium low. And then the diced green chilies, you know, they're seasoned, but I'm still gonna add just a little bit of salt and pepper, because the grits are not seasoned, and I know the grits are not, you know, gonna be seasoned just by that small can. So I'm just adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And my husband loves pepper. Like, he loves pepper. You should see his salads. Alright, I'm just gonna continue to stir because I do not want these grits to come out lumpy. So remember, the grits really have no health benefit as far as hair is concerned. The shrimp does, the peppers do, the onions do, the jalapenos do. So we have more ingredients that are great for our hair than not. And if you want to, because I've had a version like this, if you want to, you can also add like you could saute some carrots in there, like get the small ones and cut them up kind of fine, because you know the carrots kind of take a while to soften up. But if you cut them up kind of like really small, or either put them in the chopper like how I did the onion, you could add that in there too. And carrots have beta carotene, which turns into vitamin A, which is great for the hair. All right, now I'm gonna cut it on low. And I can already see the grits starting to thicken up. But not quite ready yet. So once I mix everything, I'm just going to, once I mix everything, I'm going to put it in the baking dish, okay? And again, I'm just constantly stirring these grits just to make sure they don't get any lumps. Ooh, that is spicy. I tasted a little bit. The grits are almost ready, not quite, but it's spicy. But I like it like that. So I'm just gonna taste one more little piece of shrimp. Okay, 2 more. This is my last piece of shrimp that I'm tasting. This shrimp is good, and I'm hungry. I probably should have fixed a snack before I started cooking. All right, let's see what these grits looking like. And you see we only used a 1/2 cup of grits, and it made this huge pan. That's why I do with grits and rice, I do measure. Because I hate grits that are very, very thick, and I hate rice that's really, really, really thick like that too. All right, so the grits are pretty much almost ready. At this point, I'm just gonna cut the eye off. I'm gonna leave it on here so they can finish cooking. And then also remember that you're gonna put it in the oven for 30 minutes. So it's almost there. The grits are almost ready, but they're not quite, but they're gonna finish cooking in the oven. I don't like to cook everything done, and then when you take it out of the oven, it tastes like super done. That's why I didn't like want to cook the shrimp for too long. I don't know if I'm just hungry, but my Lord, I could eat these grits just like this. This is so good. It has a spicy kick from the jalapenos and from the diced chilies, because those diced chilies and peppers are hot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add shrimp. Because I want this pretty much almost ready by the time my husband gets back home. So you just add the shrimp, mix it in. Add you some bacon. And the bacon is really optional. I bought this bacon for my salads, because I'm going to be prepping my salads for the week too. Alright, so add the bacon. And then you add an egg. And you know we love eggs for the biotin. If you don't like eggs, don't worry. You cannot taste the egg. But if you don't like eggs, what you're going to want to do is temper your egg. I'm not tempering my egg simply because I don't care. If you do not temper the egg, what will happen is, since this is already kind of hot, your egg will kind of like cook a little bit. But what the egg does is it holds it's a binder. So it's going to make it so that your casserole is not just like super runny. It kind of holds it together. But if you don't temper the egg, then you're going to see kind of like little bits. It's going to almost look like it's scrambled in your dish, simply because your dish is already hot. You're supposed to let it cool a little bit. I don't have that kind of time because I'm hungry. So I'm just going to crack my egg and put it right in there. If it scrambles up, that's fine. This is pretty much a breakfast dish anyway. If you want to temper your egg, what you would do is crack your egg in a small bowl. And then you add just a little bit of your mixture into the egg. And then you, kind of scramble it up in the bowl to kind of make it like not as cold, and then you put the whole thing back in there, and then it won't scramble up. Okay? All right. There's our biotin right there. So just mix it up in there. Make sure the egg gets all throughout. So like I said, it holds it together. All right, and then you also add a little bit of the Gouda cheese. This bag of Gouda cheese is 2 cups. Actually, this is only 1 cup. This is an 8-ounce bag, so I'm only putting half in it because I want some for the top. And then I'm also gonna use some Parmesan. I'm using half of that and half of the Gouda. And then I'll use the rest of the Parmesan for the top and the rest of the Gouda for the top. Well, actually, I'm gonna use, yeah, I'll do it like that. I was trying to save some of the cheese for my salad, but it's just not gonna be enough left over. Plus, I have some cheddar cheese. Oh, that is looking good. All right, so then all you do at this point, I'm so hungry, I probably would eat it like this, but it has raw egg in it, okay? Remember that. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is transfer it to my pretty little dish here. All right, it's in the dish. And then from the dish, I'm gonna just sprinkle some more Gouda on the top. And some more Parmesan. And also, I'm gonna tell y'all, I messed around one day and I was cooking like a Sunday dinner. And we had some of this left over from like the day before. And I had cooked some collard greens. And then we had a little collard greens left, a little shrimp and grits left. And I messed around and put the collard greens in the plate. And then I put the shrimp and grits on top and warmed it up. Oh, have mercy. It was so good. I was like, I want to always have it with collard greens. But we don't have collard greens today. Like I said, all of this stuff I had in the pantry, and I was like, I feel like eating some shrimp and grits. I knew I didn't have greens, but I didn't feel like going to the store. I hadn't been out today, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make it do what it do. And then you can also put it, have some nice like croissants with it or something. And we ate the last of the croissants for lunch. All right, so that's all of the Gouda. All right, so I have my oven on 350, and it says to cook it for 30 to 35 minutes. We'll start at 30 minutes. All right, see, it goes in the oven. 30 minutes. All right, I'm gonna set my timer. Let's see. All right, so timer is set for 30 minutes. So at this point, I'm gonna get this kitchen clean and I'm gonna start cooking the boys' chicken. All right, so I'll be back in 30 minutes. It's ready. Here we go. Oh my goodness. It looks so good. All right, y'all, here is the test. This is so good. Oh, mercy, this is so good. I thought it was gonna be super spicy, but it's not. It's like it has just the right amount of kick in it. And I love Gouda cheese. Lord have mercy. I was trying to wait for Bay, but he took my son somewhere, and I'm hungry. But I'll let you see his reaction when he gets home. But I'm about to finish eating this, clean up this kitchen, give him something to drink, not alcohol, and chill out for the rest of the night. As you can see, I already have my hair wrapped for the night. Because after I eat this, I'm going to have the itis. Look at that big piece of shrimp right there. This is so good. I really wish I would have had my collard greens with it. If y'all make this, tell me what you think about it. Tag me and tell me what you think about it. And then also tell me, and then also try with collard greens. I'm telling you, with those greens on the bottom and this on top of it, it is so good. It is so good. It's just a little bit of kick. It's not super spicy. It's not super spicy. It's a little bitty spicy. See, I like spicy stuff, and this is not. This is like, I don't even have any juice or anything, because this is just so good. Alright, you guys. If you make this, let me know what you think. I'm going to post the recipe, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.